has the list of our guests. Okay.
You're recording your phone too, or what?
No, it's just easier to take a picture of the pennies to put in the notes that
That's
it
just
is.
half of it.
Yeah.
It gets captured too.
Okay.
All right, hello everybody. Can we get a confirmation that we have audio? Nancy, can you respond, please?
Yes, we have audio.
Very good, thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the 2021 BYHA annual meeting. We will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Thank you to all of those who have joined us online. I think what we'd like to do is just have you shoot us a quick text, chat, just to let us know if you, at any point you have anything to say, just so we can make sure we don't miss anybody as we move through the meeting. So just jump into the chat side here and let us know, and we will make sure we get to you. May not be in the exact order of the agenda, but we'll definitely get to everybody if you have any questions. So at this time, I would look for an approval of tonight's agenda.
I will make the motion.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Suzanne, unlike the monthly meeting, you are up first. So we would like to, just for everybody who's online, I guess, Suzanne, gambling man, will make our annual charitable gambling report.
Hello. So usually for the annual meeting, I just let you know our contribution. Our contribution for this past year was $475,000. It was down from previous years, but we were closed down quite a few months. So that's where a lot of the difference was. We still do have 4 sites: Old Piper, Broadway, and Wild Bill's, and Clive's. After the first COVID shutdown, Broadway went to machine only, so that has kind of changed our business at that site. Other than that, that is about all the changes we've had for the year.
Great, thank you. Again, if you have any questions for anybody, any of our speakers tonight, just jump in and we will get to you and circle back if we need to. So any questions for Suzanne here at the board? Hearing none. Okay, thank you, Suzanne. At this time, I will look for approval of last year's annual meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It passes. Thank you. At this time, we will get into our annual reports. Sebastian was not able to join us this evening. I don't know if he is online, I guess.
Negative.
So, okay.
Yeah, he had a work thing today.
Okay.
It was touch and go, so.
Yeah. So Sebastian has fulfilled his 3-year term with the board, has decided not to rerun. So we thank Sebastian for his time over the last 3 years. I know they are working on still trying to get some jerseys and equipment returned with the season running long this year. Obviously that threw everything kind of off sequence with some of that. So the new equipment director will have a little catch-up work to do there. So we will move on then to our hockey director, Rick.
All right. So for the year, obviously is very touch and go with all the COVID shutdowns, but kind of the things that we budgeted for. So tradition hockey, we completed all the sessions that we had budgeted for tradition. Same with Heart Soul, the goalie coordinator, with Jermaine. So really good job on the virtual sessions during the COVID shutdowns and keeping that training going. I'm not part of it. I want to thank Jermaine for his part of taking on goalie coordinator and really getting that stuff wrapped together and keeping everybody communications wise. For pursuit, we finished about 3/4 of the sessions that we were planning to do. Obviously, with the shutdown, that really took away some weeks. Acceleration, because we missed some other things with like pursuit, we actually were to add a little bit more training for the mites. So I think Jed, I think we got up to 3 extra hours or something for extra sessions each team.
Total.
Yep. So got some extra sessions based on the extended time. Also want to thank Tara Mueller for donating her time during the COVID break and putting on those training sessions, those virtual training sessions. And then power skating, we got about half the sessions in, just due to the scheduling conflicts afterwards. With power skating, it's hard to get the right teams together and the parity together without getting that scheduled with Bill or the ice schedule before. So when we had that shutdown, really kind of hampered all the scheduling for the rest of the year. So we only got about half the power skating. So we're looking to do more of that next year. Again, I just want to thank all the training partners and for the teams being flexible. I know scheduling wasn't always the greatest due to COVID, but I think overall we got a lot of training to our teams this winter season. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. If anybody has any questions, like I said before, just jump into our chat box there and we will make sure we get to you. So with that, we will move to our in-house director, Jed.
Thank you. Just first off, I want to say thank you to all the coaches, managers, parents, coordinators, Nick Jacoby and Nikki. What's Nikki's last name? Barry. Sorry, Nikki. And who are the coordinators this past winter for the in-house program. Huge thank you to Tim Cunningham, who headed up our sponsorship efforts to make sure each one of our teams at the in-house level has a sponsor. And as we look back at the year, we had 297 kids participate in our in-house program. That's both in-house and Cubs, where we had 80 Cubs. So our numbers at the Cub levels are healthy. So our future is, we have the kids and our future looks bright. If you look at, we had 22 total teams. We had 2 8U teams, an A-Mite team, 3 B teams, 5 C teams, and 8 D teams. So we got a lot of kids on the ice. We were able to get kids inside. We were able to use outside ice. So with all the rough patches we had this year with COVID and scheduling and working through that and game scheduling, we were able to make the best out of it. As in past years, I do plan on having a year-end review meeting with all the coaches. Just looking to get some time where we can get everybody in a room together so we don't have to do it over Teams or a Skype call. So, and with that being said, the academy is underway. We started last week with the academy. We have 3 groups with 98 kids signed up for the academy. So strong numbers again there. And last but certainly not least, I just want to say thank you to the board, the 3 board members whose terms are up, Sebastian, Jeff, and Eric. Thanks for all you guys have done over the years, and we're in a better place because of you guys. So already looking forward to next year. So thank you.
What were those numbers? The kid total?
297 and
Perfect.
so I have 60.
Just to, I guess, maybe share a point here with Jed and with all of you listening. So my son was a first-year player as a sophomore on the high school team. In 2011, when he would have been a mite, a first-year or second-year mite, we had 4 D teams, 4 C teams, 2 B teams, and 1 A team. So that was 11 teams back about 10 years ago is all. And here we now are, looking at 20, and there was no Cubs program back then. So, there's another, 6 teams worth of players there, at 80 plus kids. So a lot of credit goes to our in-house directors over the last several years, including Jed and what he's doing right now. It certainly makes a huge difference to have that larger pool, you know, as they move up through the program. So I've told a lot of people in the past that as much as people talk about the president or the vice president or whatever, that in-house position might be, you know, as vital a role as there is. So thank you to Jed for keeping that rolling. So we will move on. Let's go to boys traveling. Jason.
Start out, just want say a few thanks. Definitely being with what we had to deal with COVID this year. We needed all hands on deck and really appreciate all the help. Definitely one to point out right off the bat was Brad Kehoe doing the COVID coordinator stuff. I know that was pretty taxing, but also just my coordinators and Chris Paul, Brian Guzzi, and Steve Gulk. Thanks for all your help, keeping me kind of abreast of what was going on this year, and definitely with the tryout process. Also, thank you to all the coaches, head coaches, assistant coaches. We can't have teams without all of you helping out the kids and developing their skills and developing personalities and everything like that. So greatly appreciate that. Also to the managers, keeping the coaches in check for the most part. So just a kind of a recap of the year. Again, you know, a lot of things to maneuver this year. All of our teams finished off the season doing really well. Bantams, we had 3 teams this year, and they finished strong in districts. Didn't take any hardware home, but they were definitely pushing for hardware and had a good season. Pee-wees, we had 7 Pee-wee teams, and all of them were again finishing strong. We did have a few that played for hardware and did very well in districts, and definitely for squirts, all of our squirt teams finished off the season very, very well. So I'm excited for what's to come from all of these kids, because we finished off the season very, very strong on the boys' side, and I'm really looking forward to next year. So also, I would like to thank the outgoing board members and Sebastian, Eric, and Jeff. You know, learned quite a bit over the last 2 years from the 3 of you, and appreciate all the work that you guys have done. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Just a quick reminder, if anybody's joining us late, to feel free to jump into the chat box and state your question, or even just list your name, and then we'll make sure we get back to you if you have anything for us. So with that, we will move on to our girls traveling director, Neil.
Thank you. All right, so great season, very successful, all teams. So for girls this year, we had 8 teams. I did an overall district record. I know with COVID, tourneys were hard to kind of find that information, and some got limited, but 66, 50, and 19. It's not all about wins and losses, but somehow we have 19 ties. So, but no, overall, a very good season. Just a couple call outs for some of the teams. So 15A team finished second in district play. So they had a very good season, fell a little short in district playoffs, but that was a very, very tough district for the 15A level in District 10. So solid season. 15 Bs, so again, second place in districts, actually took second in district playoffs, third in regions, actually made to the state tournament. So congrats to them. They lost a close quarterfinal game to the team that ended up actually winning state. And then they lost an OT in the consolation in state tournament. So congrats to their team on all their hard work. 12B White finished second in district league play. And then 10A finished third place in district play as well. So But again, everybody had a great season. Thanks to all the players for all their hard work on the year. So, and then just a few thank yous again. First of all, for the coaches, again, thank you for all your work, all your time, all your effort. Couldn't do it without you. Managers, like everybody else has said, I'll reiterate that. A lot of work goes in on their parts. And then parents, of course, making sure the kids can get to the rink, and ultimately the players as well, right? They're the ones that want to be there, show up to the rink ready to listen and work hard. So a couple other call outs and thank yous. Thank you to Aaron Kruger for helping with all the tourneys. So I appreciate all the work he did this year, and he's going to step down from that role as he doesn't have any kids in the program anymore. But I thank you for all of his time he put in. And then again, thank you, like everybody said, to the other board members. Each and every one of you, couldn't have done it without you when it comes to everything else. And a special call outs to Jeff, Eric, and Sebastian for all the time you guys have put in and effort. So thank you all.
Thank you, Neil. Secretary, Lindsay.
Yeah, finishing with that. So I just wanted to say thank you first to Heather for all of her help, and Jody for all of your help. They're both not going to come back next year, so a little sad. Let's see, pictures this year, I know for a lot of people were a little bumpy, but I feel like we got most of it taken care of. If you didn't, let me know. I did just get a link for panel pictures that I'll send out to the traveling families if they'd like to purchase one of those. What else? I guess that's it. Thanks to all of the exiting board members, especially Jeff. Thanks for all the help this year, getting me going.
All right, questions for Lindsay at all? Thank you to Lindsay for jumping in after last year's election. We brought her in, and certainly lucky to have her and everything she's bringing in to help keep the group organized for sure. So thank you, Lindsay. With that, we will move on to Jeff, our treasurer.
Sure. Like everybody else mentioned, COVID created challenges we've never seen or could predict before, so it was a very interesting year. But yeah, I think a big thanks to Brad for running us through these uncharted waters and managing all the different issues and near misses and exposures, and too much to even mention. But what a year. And I'd like to say thanks to everybody on the board as well. It's not a small task to do the job of a board member role, and a ton of hours, huge commitment, a lot of work. And I thank all the folks that step up to take on that commitment. Thank you very much for that. And also to Sebastian and Eric for their terms served, 3 years. It was no small undertaking, and both did a good job in the role, and I appreciate it. I know that's what it takes to make hockey possible for my kid. Thank you guys for that. Year recap on the numbers. I think collectively we did a really good job budgeting this year, knowing that we had no crystal ball and no gambling for periods of time, and a lot of uncertainty. So we came into the year with a decent reserve to protect us through that crazy time. The guys did a really nice job budgeting their programs. I looked at the actuals versus the budgeted the other day, and they're very close, which was amazing to see. Gambling kicking in for those little spurts of time and finishing strong helped us get through the year with covering the program losses, because they are budgeted to take a loss. And without gambling, our prices would all go up significantly. I'm not sure how well aware everybody is of that, but that is the truth of it. And we balanced the budget this year, which is amazing. We came out with a small surplus to tuck away into our contract funding that's coming up soon. So all in all, everybody collectively did a really nice job budgeting or managing the finances. And all I did is watch the numbers as they happen. So took a big effort from everybody to make sure we hit those targets. Other than that, I really appreciate the improvements we made, and even without or even with COVID considered, we still pushed this program forward. We optimized as much hockey as we possibly could. It's very unfortunate tournaments had to be canceled because that's some of the greatest experiences for our kids, but we were able to get most teams to a tournament or a couple, and a few got all three that we planned. Unfortunately, we did have, I think, 2 teams that didn't get any, and that's very unfortunate, but we didn't have much options there. But, yeah, I think that's about it. It's the year recap for me. I don't know if anybody's got any questions.
All right. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, at this point, we will move on to our Vice President, Brad.
Thank you. Big thank you to everyone in this room for getting through COVID, right? Took that on. I don't know if I necessarily wanted it, but it happened. And I think from day one, we were ahead of the game in planning immediately. So I think that helps. So a big thank you to everyone in this room. The coordinators, the COVID coordinators for the teams. I mean, every team was affected by COVID-19 this year at some point throughout the season. And working with Eric and Jeff to navigate, because nothing was uniform, nothing was the same. Every situation was different, and tracing it with a headache, and they sometimes help keep me sane. So I do appreciate that. And a big thank you to our membership, right? To get through this and the ups and downs and the ice scheduling and the different rink restrictions and just navigating through that was very impressive. And I think from that January 4th restart up, we only had 2 confirmed cases that came from outside of hockey. So now I don't know if everyone reported, but those are the numbers we saw. So it's a huge thank you to our membership, our coaches, our managers, our parents, to get us through something I hope we never have to go through again. A big thank you to the board members going out, Jeff, Eric, and Seabass, for all the time, the commitments that you guys have done, especially 6 years, Eric. So thank you for all of that and the continuous improvement you guys have made to BYHA. And now the heavy lifting starts, right? Here we go. It's a new season. We need to continue to improve on many things. We have probably a 2 or 3 hour meeting coming up. So I'm looking forward to that so we can get the ball rolling, and hopefully we're COVID free going into September. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Brad. Okay, I guess it's my turn for the present report. I don't have a lot to share, but I just kind of what Brad just said, like the planning has started. That we'll announce the new board members here in just a minute, but with the season getting extended, through March, it's already tightened up this off season a little bit anyway. I know the first president's meetings within District 10 are coming up here in the month of May, so certainly a lot of work ahead, but we're fortunate to have a good group here in the room and those that'll be joining them. Certainly BYHA is on the right track. So a couple of things I want to do, again, just more thank you, but all of the past and present board members that I served with over the last 6 years. Just a really great group of people that have taught me a lot. Maybe I've passed a few things on along the way as well, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. We do it because we love it. But I certainly want to thank all of those people over the years. A few names I want to mention specifically. Suzanne, thank you for what you do for our gambling. You've been here longer than I, but it's always first class in your attention to that world that we don't know a lot about. But a special thanks to Suzanne. Nancy Manthis, Thank you, Nancy, for the last 6 years with me, and all, many more before that. But that job as registrar can be really tedious, and just checking and double checking, those registrations and addresses and coaches and everything that goes along with that. So a big shout out to Nancy. For sure, we should all be thankful to these people. And then the last one I want to mention is Bill Marshall. Bill has been our ice scheduler as long as I've been part of the board. He's been with Blaine close to 20 years, I believe, between coaching his kids, ice scheduling. He left for a year or two, came back. Bill let us know earlier this winter that this would be his last year with the association. So we are currently talking with a couple people, but that's going to be a huge job for someone to take on and step into Bill's shoes. So thank you, Bill, for everything that you've done for Blaine hockey for many years. So just a couple, I guess, things to close it out. I would love to see more involvement from the membership. I'm hopeful that these meetings can get back to the rink with an invitation for anybody within Blaine hockey to join those meetings in person. I think that makes a huge difference. But the amount of work time that goes into these and these decisions that get made, I'm hopeful that more people will pay attention to that and be part of those solutions and answers versus maybe just sitting on the sideline with some of the criticism, or just maybe not fully understanding some of the issues that come before the board. So I would hope that all of you on the call and any of you that have neighbors and friends within Blaine hockey would look to get involved any way you can. And I'm sure this group would love to have you. Bengal Pride. I grew up in Rochester, moved up to the Blaine area in 2001, and played against Blaine, I guess, growing up a little bit, but it's something really special. I know Coach Carroll talks about it a lot. But having been on the board, having both of my kids go through the program, it's real. It's a real thing, and I feel like the landscape of hockey is changing a little bit the last few years with other options, private schools, tier 1 type stuff. But I'm hopeful that this board can continue to push and find new ways to continue to have these kids, live and die to put on that jersey. I'm just a little bit fearful, not specific to Blaine, but just youth hockey in general. But it's such a great thing, association hockey, playing with your classmates and your neighbors. So yeah, I just wanted to say that for somebody that kind of came in not fully understanding or playing in Blaine as a kid, how amazing this association is, and the alumni that have always been so supportive make it a pretty cool thing. So thank you to that. Probably one of my greatest memories is that Summerfest we did 2 summers ago at Fogarty. It was just that one-day event where we skated in the morning. We had a big barbecue. We had a lot of our great alumni there. Some of the high school coaches were there, and it was just a great day. The weather was perfect, and that's the type of thing I'd like to see us get back to as we, kind of navigate, hopefully, the tail end of this COVID piece. And because I think, again, that was such a special day to let these kids kind of feel what that meant to be a Bengal. So, and then the last thing I want to mention is just, I'd like to see the game get back to the kids a little bit more. When I'm at the rink, I do this for a living outside of Blaine as well. So I'm at the rink a lot, and I'm a little bit concerned too about just some of the adults. And, I'd like to let the coaches coach, let the kids play. And if you have concerns, address them the right way. The board there's nothing funny going on this board. Everybody's in it for the right reason. Everybody's willing to take your call if you have concerns, but it's such a great game. And I really just hope that we here in Blaine anyway can continue to just make it fun, do it for all the right reasons. The relationships that I have now and probably will have for the rest of my life, 80% of them have come from my experiences over the last 10 years with my kids and being on the board. So it's pretty amazing. So that's enough for now. Thank you for everything. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to this room. But after 6 years, it's time to, it's just time to move on and let some new blood with these young Mike kids jump in and keep this thing moving in the right direction. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so with that, probably the real reason most of you maybe joined us is I'm excited to announce the results. In just a minute here, we'll pull up the actual numbers, but before we do that, I just want to let everybody know that we had 256 members or 256 voters, individual people that voted. And as you know, you can vote up to 3 times for 3 candidates. So there were a total of 676 total votes cast. Thank you to Nancy Manthis, our registrar. She thought that was just kind of a winner thing, but she also takes care of the voting for us. So kind of an independent, not part of the board. She monitors the voting over the last day and a half to ensure that there's no duplicate votes or people outside of Blaine hockey somehow gaining access to that. So Nancy kind of verifies the results and all of the voting. I know everybody here has thanked Jeff as an outgoing member, but happy to announce that Jeff will be returning to the board for another term. So congratulations to Jeff Meister. And then our 2 new board members that will be coming in are Jermaine Davis and Chris Paul. And here are the results for the individual votes. As you can see there, Jeff, Jermaine, and Chris were the top 3 vote getters. So congratulations to you guys, a lot of work. Like Brad just mentioned, there's a couple 2 or 3 hour meeting coming your way here real quick. We will have you guys, Jermaine and Chris, jump on a call here once we get through the annual meeting for just a few minutes. Jeff will make that happen. To the rest of the candidates on the list, we thank you for applying, for showing your interest in joining the board. There's plenty of work to do. Please reach out to any of the new board members or current board members about coordinator roles or just anything that you feel would be a strength. We would be happy to have you. So congratulations again to Jeff, Jermaine, and Chris. All right. I didn't mention Brad either. The COVID piece. I got to tell you, the amount of calls, the emails, it was insane. I'm sure you all dealt with it in your personal lives and your, employees and your work, but it was unbelievable the amount of time that went into that. So a special shout out to Brad for managing that. All right, I'm done. Enough. Let's move on to our high school program recap. And I know I saw Coach Carroll's name on the list. So Coach, if you would like to unmute yourself and jump in, we will hand over the meeting to you for a few minutes.
All right, thanks. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, I appreciate just a second to jump on this call and and actually just kind of be invited. I always really appreciate this, this meeting, just to kind of almost a fresh start and kind of a conclusion of a season, and kind of looking at the future, and really encouraged just to hear, obviously, the numbers that were shared by Jed and some of those in-houses, and Eric, you kind of shared perspective on, it was in 2011 when your son was kind of in the MITE program, just to hear the differences in numbers. So as a high school coach, that's incredibly encouraging. So I appreciate that. And Eric, you mentioned the piece on pride. And we talk about that a lot in our program, and just, it's our vision, it's our goal to make our high school program really, really special, and something that the kids of Blaine want to be a part of, in a way that it sort of reciprocates back down to the youth, and gives not only our kids a really cool experience, if they're fortunate to be a part of our program, but all of those Cubs and Mites and Squirts and Peewees, look up to our kids and say, I want to be a Blaine Bengal someday. And I think, I'm hopeful that in this midst of COVID, and I think it kind of gave people maybe an opportunity to test the water, so to speak, on some other things, and whether it was AAA or whether it was kind of dabbling out into some of these other opportunities that kids have. I really hope that what we have in Blaine was an eye opener for people, because I know from some firsthand stories that some of these kids that may have left, that grass on the other side isn't quite as green, and we've got something that's pretty special here at Blaine. And I heard Eric refer to that Blaine hockey day that we had, where we had the Tufties and Bukestad and Brodzinski's and Emily Brown, and you can continue to go down the list. And if you ask every one of those kids, and that's a pretty impressive alumni that we have, if you ask every one of those kids, they cherish their time in Blaine. And I think that just speaks volumes to what we have here, and obviously our board and our youth program, but just the community that we have. And so I'm really encouraged, and I'm really hopeful that, in this uncertain times that so many people reference, that, it really gives perspective to what we have here in Blaine. And a lot of that stuff that's on the peripherals or can be tangential and sort of lure the eye, just kind of reveals how good we have it here. And I say all that, and I know a lot of people have offered thanks, but I truly want to thank our board, our youth program, and it's not just kind of the snapshot in 2020 or 2021. It's going all the way back to the start of even Fogarty Arena, and all the people that have poured into it, because that's what's created a really, really special thing. And we're blessed on so many different ways from a high school program, whether just the kids that we have and the parents that we have, or financially, and when you kind of pare all that stuff down this year, and what I mean by that is, we really just had the kids, when we were playing in rinks where there's 100 people, and we didn't have the parent interaction, and we didn't have all kind of the peripheral things, but it was a really cool experience just to hang out for about 3 months with about 30 kids, and just to kind of see who they are. And so it was revealing to us as our coaching staff that we've got some rock star kids, and just some incredibly good kids that make it incredibly fun to go to the rink every day. And when you boil it down and you kind of peel some of that stuff back, that's ultimately what we want. And that's just a reflection of our youth program. And so I know I'm going to get a couple minutes to kind of share that. And I want, everybody on the board and those that are listening, to hear that and know that we are incredibly grateful to get to serve not only our kids and our families, but this community. And we just look forward to doing it every year, and it's an absolute blast. And you know, as our season kind of comes to an end, we're looking for ways to help out and do things. And, you know, I'm excited to get back out on the ice and see kids again with STP as we got that rolling, and just kind of a fresh perspective on things. And so I'll close in just, again, I know a lot of people have said this, but thanks. We appreciate it more than many of you probably even realize. So I know my time's coming to an end, and there's probably some bigger things that the board needs to attack right now. But again, thank you so much. And we certainly couldn't do what we can do without you guys. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Coach, for taking a little time tonight to jump on the call with us. We always appreciate that. So, you know, we had also invited Coach Geider with the girls team. I don't believe he was able to make it here with us tonight. But a lot of great things going on with the girls program for sure. So we will move on to our junior gold representative, Chuck Taylor.
Well, season's on again. It's off again. It's on again. About the middle of January, we were able to round up 56 kids and build 3 teams. And it was quite a challenge. Brad Keogh, big thanks from us. And we had Tammy working with you to help keep sanity in that whole line, and I think she did good. I know she really built you up. So good job. You get COVID director next year too. Hopefully we're not going to be dealing with this crap. Junior gold in Blaine, Ice Dogs. For those online that haven't followed what that program is, it's a co-op program. I just took a look and had this dang thing going over 10 years. That it's been servicing our area. And when I say our area, it's Blaine, Anoka, Andover, Spring Lake Park. It's kind of the D10 programs that didn't have a home for kids if they didn't make high school. Well, I heard this year rumor that both Blaine and Andover took about a half dozen of our players. Actually, they took the good ones. I don't know why they do that. But we're pretty darn proud of that. And we hope the kids keep Ice Dogs and Junior Gold at the forefront. So 3 teams this year. They did pretty good. The A's made it to state. Weren't really planning on doing that, but they won a couple of games they had to. Made it to state, and then got blown out in the first game by 8-3. So still, all in all, I think it was a pretty successful year. Let's see, the last little bit of information I have here. I think the core group that I see year after year that really make up the Ice Dogs, and I don't think any one of our associations alone could put 3 teams together where kids are playing at the right level, but Blaine, Andover, we're literally like 50-50 partners. Anoka filled in very strong this year. And then we had Champlin Park, a handful of kids through there, and then a few from some others. So, you know, Eric, Jeff, you know, I'm going to reach out to those guys too and let them know, but just let them know they were a big part of, you know, what's going on. And I think Manny over there knows it. He's brought kids back in. Chris Carroll, we've had lunch with him, and I think he's really supported the program. So we're here to do it again. Last note, summer ice for us is pond hockey. So whoever ends up being boys traveling director, and I need to contact Andover also, it's not an STP program. It's not a take the kids away program. It's pond hockey, but we're thinking that we would really like to start inviting those second-year bantams out just to play pond hockey and just to be aware of what that next level is, because not every kid will make it to high school, at least their first attempt. Once they play for junior gold, they get that second shot, and a number of them do make it into high school. So that's kind of a quick synopsis. and it's just been a lot of fun. Coaches for next year, I'm hearing we have returners. So Drescher, Katola, Zach Bergstrom. So the A's, B's, the 16s, as far as I understand it right now, we're going to start talking about next year in a couple of weeks. So I think that's it for now. Any questions?
I'd like to say thanks, Chuck. You're a one-man band over there and you got passion for it like nobody else. So I appreciate that. And thanks for all you do over there.
Well, thank you very much. And I need to thank technology. Without it, this job would suck. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chuck.
At this time, we have open forum. Kind of like we said throughout the meeting, you know, at any time, feel free to jump into that chat box. We're kind of close to the end here, so I will go ahead and just throw it out there one more time. I think we did have one question come in that somebody on the board can answer, but if anybody else has anything, this would be the time to jump in. Otherwise, we will be closing the meeting here in just another couple minutes, so.
Yeah, I'll address Kim's question about the year-end survey. So we had a nice turnout for that. I think it was, I don't even remember, 350 respondents. Got a lot of feedback, which we highly appreciate, and we do promise to keep those confidential. We do highly appreciate when you put your name in there so we can get in touch with you and talk more about your concerns or your ideas. I think Jason and Neil and Jed are the programs that are getting feedback on that. Maybe they can share a little bit more about what they read and maybe some ideas that we have looking forward. I don't know how much you have prepared for that, but if you have something, maybe share it.
I can go. I know with the in-house, one of the big concerns or areas for improvement was scheduling. And coming out of the season 2 years ago, that was something that me in particular, I wanted to address and try and improve. We had processes in place to do that. And with COVID, it kind of threw a wrench in all that. But the message has been taken, and we will work all summer to get scheduling more consistent, get it out ahead of time. So we're avoiding the, here's your schedule on Friday for next week or this weekend. I hear you loud and clear. I know it's a problem, and we'll get it fixed.
I think to add to that, it'll always be a challenge to schedule everything early because there's a lot of moving parts to scheduling. The ice scheduler is forced to not schedule anything or very little stuff before games at districts are scheduled for traveling teams. Games at districts are scheduled for junior gold. We have to leave that ice available for district scheduling, and then we know what we have to deal with. So it becomes a very, challenging time. And as much as we'd like to lay it all out, it's difficult to do a lot of that, but definitely do our best, and there's room to do it better. For sure.
And I would just say I've read them all. So I have meetings set up via phone or, in person with some of the coaches to kind of give them some feedback that we saw, just kind of some patterns. And again, it's the best way to get them information to help them learn and develop as well. So, but they are read, and we are following up on some of the issues and concerns that were brought up, and we'll manage as we go.
And to piggyback off of that, I have read all of the boys traveling ones, touching base with coaches this week and beyond. Another aspect definitely was tryouts, and that's always an evaluation of the tryout process. We've been doing this tryout process for the last 2 years. We may make some changes. They are outside evaluators as much. Not as much as possible. They are outside evaluators, so it's still a matter of finding the ways to place our players properly. That's the biggest thing that we're trying to do there. And if there's things that we need to change, that's, like I said, we're always evaluating that. So
Good, okay.
Just one last thought on the survey. I have two, well, all of us have gone through it. And there are a number of folks who I promised to call back and talk about more of what they said, and I do plan to do that. It's a very busy time right now, wrapping up the year, so that'll be coming up, especially now that I've been reelected. But I think we've done a good job overall. If we're looking at the positives versus the negatives in that survey, I think by far the majority is we're doing things pretty darn good, and that's great to see. That doesn't mean we ignore any of the opportunities to improve, right? So I think there's plenty of things that we can consider to do better, for sure. I think there's also, it's clear that there's an opportunity to communicate better as well, because some of the concerns might be a little better understood if there was more information available. So twofold, we're going to do our best to get better and communicate more and talk to folks who have those concerns.
Okay, thank you. I hope that helped a little bit, Kim. So feel free to reach back out to any of the board members if you have more questions on that. I do not see any other questions in the chat box, so we will go ahead and close open forum and look to a motion to adjourn our annual meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Just a reminder for Jermaine and Chris to stay with us.
We're going to roll right into the monthly meeting, and if you guys have video cameras, please turn them on so we can introduce you to the membership that's with us tonight.
It's still an open meeting, so
Yep.
if anybody wants to listen, that's fine. Otherwise, we will just move on to our April meeting. I will be over here.
Oh, you can stay right here.
We don't have a president now. Who's gonna lead it?
Brad
Vice
gets to-
President,
Brad
go
gets
for
to
it.
know.
Lucky me.
So Jermaine and Chris, can you, do we have you? There you are. Very good.
Come.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sounds so enthused, right?
Are you sitting on the floor, Chris?
No.
Know how to use the chair.
There you go.
Maybe let them know we'll get together this week, hopefully, Brad, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely, we're just trying to figure out a day and time. We'll reach out and let you guys know. It'll probably be, the first one's probably gonna be 2 or 3 hours. A lot.
And usually when it's 2 or 3 hours, it's like 4 or 5. So.
And you are officially board members, so you are able to make motions and vote when a motion comes up.
All right, moving along, let's roll here. Call to order. Approval of the current meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Confirmation of our new board members and positions.
That we're gonna pause.
Yep. All right. Secretary's report.
So it's been busy, getting communication out for today and everything. Getting ready for the new season, looking at the open coordinator roles and all of that stuff. So looking to get a email out on that as soon as possible so that we can have those people in place before we get too close to the season. And then the following motions were made. I think it's wrong, but the motion was made by General to approve a $500 gift card to Bill Marshall for his years of service, seconded by Jason, and that motion passed.
That's a secret too, Bill doesn't know yet, so shh.
Yeah, Bill, he's not on, right?
Right.
No, okay, good. Nobody tell him. Motion was made by Jeff to approve the following year-end expenditures. We it was $6,386 for, at Letterman's for 62 coaching uniforms and $10,315.76 at Dave's for some new goalie equipment. Seconded by me, motion passed. And then a motion was made by Jeff to sponsor our Blaine players participating in the D10 Tier 1 2021 tournament in the amount of $750. That was seconded by Jeff and the motion passed. And then a motion was made by Neil to cover the hotel expenses for the U15B backup goalie for the state tournament. That was seconded by me and the motion passed. That was a lot.
And Rick was the second on that, second.
Yeah, I said that.
No,
Oh, I read it.
Yeah.
I looked at it. It's
Yeah.
written.
Yeah. You said somebody, at least you don't skip me like other people do.
Yeah.
Routinely.
You're here, I swear.
Pressure's
Right-
on. I didn't
right
see
here.
the night annual meeting.
No.
Any questions for Lindsay? All right, treasurer's report, Jeff?
We can approve the meeting minutes first.
Yeah, I
did that.
Yeah, right.
No, we approved the agenda. We didn't
Yeah,
approve the
yeah.
meeting minutes.
Well, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in
Thank
favor?
you.
Aye.
Aye.
Now, treasury report. I pretty much covered it in the last, in the annual meeting, so I don't have much to say otherwise, other than glad to be back, I guess. And we'll, see what we can get done in the next 3 years, at least, see what I can get done in the next 3 years.
Can you tell me what the reported cash is at right now? I
Oh.
didn't put that in my meeting.
Yes, good,
Thank
good, good. I did not touch on that part, so I do have that. Current cash at year end is sitting at $856,415, which includes the 4 accounts that we manage. Money market that is set aside for our contract renewals, junior gold working capital account, and our general account, which is, it's, as mentioned in the annual meeting, it's on target with what we hoped for. So that's good news. Everything came together quite nicely.
Any questions for Jeff?
No.
All right, VP's report. I kind of touch on everything in the annual meeting, in terms of COVID. What I just like, now the heavy lifting starts, right? Now we got to dig in and go through our processes, pretty much review everything. The big thing on my list is the coordinators. And like Eric said, we got to get more people involved, right? That helps everyone in the program, and that gives a sense of community and pride. So that's kind of one of my goals, but here we go, hang on. And congratulations to you guys. We are looking forward to having you. And like I said, we'll reach out as soon as we can set that date and time and get you in here and digging in. So
For sure. Welcome.
yes, president's report. Skip that. Open forum. Donation requests, we have none at this time that I'm aware of from anyone.
We do have one, probably need to process that at our next meeting from Wall Bills.
Oh, I don't have it.
Yeah, came in somebody. Suzanne forwarded it.
Is that the,
Oh, the Guns and Roses?
Gun, yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
Wall Bills, yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
one,
okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
we got time, but we should get that process. Yeah.
Coordinator reports. Ice scheduler. Girls traveling coordinator.
Somebody sign up, please.
Boys traveling.
Oh, look, you got Chris on. Right? Squirt coordinator updates, Chris?
Yeah.
Nothing.
How about the new squirt coordinator too? Because Chris Orr's on here too, so. Welcome. He was, yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. Very good.
Any updates, Chris?
I'm here. Thank you. No, looking forward to. I heard Chris Paul's a really good, teacher. So looking forward to learning from him.
Goalie coordinator, Jermaine.
Got him.
I got nothing. I really enjoyed it this year. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I love Hartzell. I love talking to the guy. I just got to make sure I got 30 minutes to give him. So, yeah, no, I said it and I meant it in my video, and I've talked about this before. I still plan on having a hand in it somehow, and but I mean, I'll probably try to find an understudy as well, just to help out though.
Good. Thank you, Jermaine. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great. Academic achievement. Nancy?
She's not, but everything went out. All the teams have their stuff.
She was on.
She is on.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
on.
JK, they just couldn't, Nancy, sorry.
You want?
Yeah, you cut out on me. Did you say me? As in,
Yeah, really. I think.
hello?
Oh.
No, they're talking about the other Nancy. I really don't have anything to say. I mean, it wrapped up really nicely. We had a lot of leftovers from last year, so that was great. We were able to utilize and use some funds from Bolero towards gift cards for the kids. So that worked out really well. So next year is going to be interesting. And, if you guys have ideas of things that you want us to go for, or, other ideas, when to start things, or you want to have a party or not, more than willing to take those on, and we'll just see what happens.
Officially?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, don't ask.
Lazy, you don't ask that question.
She's already making
I
money.
never really did give my answer, damn it.
Well, she answered my email. She's like, I'm still thinking about it. So I just,
Well, it sounds like she's pretty sure now.
I know.
She's talking
You're
about
in.
next year, so.
you're in.
Too bad I could find that mute button. Congratulations to you guys, and thanks to all of you guys who are leaving too. So appreciate all your time.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yep, nice job last year getting that together with the COVID challenges too. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Volunteer, check.
Yeah, we're good.
Registrar, Nancy.
Okay, we're ready for this, Nancy. I have pretty much nothing to report at this time, but thanks to Eric for all the time you put in for BYHA and the support you've given me in what I do. Congratulations to the new guys, and Jeff, thanks for helping me get through the last month here with this laptop that I went kaput on me. I don't have anything else.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Recruitment and retention, check. Fundraising, check.
Well, back-
Sponsorship.
Somebody sign up for all of those.
Quick, I know we got Tim on too, but back to Nancy Mathis. We were gonna renew your 5-year contract. You good with that, Nancy?
Are you asking or telling?
Well, no, whatever is most effective, I guess.
No, I'm good with that.
Okay, very good. Just want to confirm. Thank you.
Hey,
Is Tim still on?
Is Tim with us?
Yeah, I think he dropped off.
He did drop off.
All right. Tournaments.
No updates.
There. Director reports. Girls traveling director.
A lot going on. That's it. We start looking at it next year, and we'll have some co-op sessions for the next month or week.
Yeah, we.
But a lot of planning. So. that's all I got.
Year in review and what to do next year, right?
Yep.
Boys traveling director.
Not much. Coaches, if you're on, get your applications in again, so we can get that ball rolling and started on that.
Is that open?
We do need to review that. It's ready. We just need to make
Okay.
sure it's got everything.
So it'll be open soon. We need coordinators as well, so, so yeah, sign up, let us know.
Speaking of coordinators, we need a few of them. So,
Yeah.
Hold on.
yeah. Treasury can use a hand. Girls definitely needs a hand.
Volunteer.
Spread the word.
fundraising.
Tournament. In-house.
Tournaments,
director.
yeah.
Tournaments needs to get going.
Yeah, we do need to get moving on that, so.
In-house, the academy is started. Registration is still open for the spring session of the academy. So if you're interested, there's still time to register and get your kid on the ice. And with that, we'll close the book on 2021. Start looking forward to next year. Academy or initiations, coaches, jerseys, all the above.
Sure.
Jen? Hockey director.
Recruitment.
All right. So I'm setting up season recaps with other training partners, making see if we can do anything better. Also taking into the survey, so feedback we got from the membership. So looking to finalize that and probably make some commitments here at the end of April. And the only thing kind of really left pending is to get the pre-tryout camp. The dates are set, but content still needs to be determined here. So that's what's on the plate.
Rick. Equipment director. See what else? Got that place cleaned up? I'm sure there's some work.
Keys turned in probably here.
He's working on it.
All right. Charitable gambling report. Susan, still?
I'm here. Okay, the March contribution was 100,000. We've had a strong couple months here, so hopefully that continues on. I want to thank all the board members that helped out with the end of the year annual audit. I appreciate all your help. Went pretty quick and smooth this year. Their new way of doing it is much faster than their old way. So thank you, everyone. I am in the middle of a DOR audit with the state of Minnesota. Not sure when that'll be done. I probably have about little over half the games pulled. So that will be in process for a while, I'm assuming. But so far it's all going fine, just still collecting all the information for them. And just my clerical note, I need to know who the new CEO or treasurer is ASAP. I do have paperwork that I have to fill out with the Gambling Control Board regarding those two positions, and only if they change. So if Jeff stays in the treasurer, I don't need him to fill out a new one. It would just be if the two positions change. So I would need to be updated on that as soon as possible so I can get that in to them. And that's about it.
All right, you'll be signing up for right now. So. Just to let you know, Suzanne, we're planning to get together with the two new guys ASAP probably this weekend, and we'll get that sorted out to you and over to you right away.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Susan. All right, old business.
Yep.
Oh. We get a motion to approve the gambling report?
I'll make that motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Well,
Jermaine and Chris,
Next
you on
month.
board?
Yeah, you guys got votes.
aye.
Very good.
Hi.
Next month's
Attaboy.
gambling expenses.
He's still holding your hand.
I'll make the motion to approve the May 2021 proposed gambling expenses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Passes.
It's easy to read.
What else you got on there?
New business.
There you
We
go.
got a lot.
Old
To be
business?
discussed at another time. Anything else? Questions?
Let's check the membership, which I don't think we got anything. Nope. Oh, we're good. Here's the current list.
Chris, Jermaine, you have anything, questions right now, or?
Not right now, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
same. I'm just kind of taking it all in.
Good luck.
Yeah, there'll be more, don't worry.
Bring your phones or your laptops.
Yeah. The first items up for bid is sorting out the roles, and then we'll get you, also get the email accounts moved over to you, the sports engine accounts, and access to the files and folders. And we'll get a group text for our board put together too, which you guys will be on, so we can communicate via text if we like. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
That's it. Join the meeting.
Motion to adjourn. I make the motion. Oh,
I'll second.
That's why I said motion to adjourn.
President, you know, for the week or whatever.
Yeah, can't be.
I second it, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And you don't like delete my name out of
See you guys soon.
Facebook.
See you guys. Thank you.
Like the Google Drive.
Congrats again.
Thanks, everybody.
Welcome.